I do believe that Virginia as a whole was never a place that had their own sound. So when we looked at the other music that was being made in other cities, we knew what we couldn't create. DC had go-go, down south had bass music, West Coast had the Cheatham. So I believe once we started to get into studios and things of that nature, we knew that we couldn't make what they were making, so we were forced to be original.
So locally, there was, like, I never grew up traditionally taking dance classes or anything like that, so there wasn't many influences before me. I don't want to say that I created this dance culture because there were plenty of people dancing before me, but as far as like creating a dance agency and founding a dance awards and owning a dance business here in Richmond and helping dancers create themselves and their brand and build their skills and developing dancers into becoming performers today, there wasn't many people, I don't think there was anyone actually before me to have an influence.
Hi, thank you guys for having me. I've noticed a theme of community and building from the ground up from all the different forms of art that we've been talking about tonight. And I believe that artists and music journalists and artist journalists are symbiotic. So how can journalists help build that community and connect fans to what y'all are doing on a day-to-day basis?
They've been doing all they can, from photography to writing. They've been doing their job. I can't say if there's they could be doing a better job than they're already doing. A lot of our journalists and personalities have given us our first shots in magazines or first interviews on live radio. I think they've been doing a good job. And you're right, it is a symbiotic relationship, because if we're not releasing music or content, you guys don't have anything to write about. But to further that is get closer to the space. Even with us, we have to get closer to you guys. But yeah, I don't think much more than that. Just stay in the space, stay close to what you love, write about what you love, and share it, you know?
So I'm green when it comes to that. And what I mean by that is, I think we should have more. I think we need more.
More journalists?
More people covering the stage in a way that I think presents itself in a way that's attractive to kind of mass consumption, if you will. And what I mean by that is, I don't think you have to be inauthentic, but when it comes to things like, especially if you're talking about digital media, presentation matters. When you're talking about like writing even blog posts, and I'm horrible at it. Grammar is not my friend. But you got to do your best to make sure that it's, your readers are able to read it and consume it. And you want to do content and work, especially in that space, with artists in a way that is unique. I'm always racking my brain to figure out if I'm covering someone that I've covered before, I've covered plenty of times. Well, an album review is just not going to do it, right? Like, I need to, sure, anybody can put together a couple hundred words on this person's project, but it's like, how do we get into a relationship with an artist that we can actually share some angles that is attractive, but people may not have ever known before. And it's a setup. The question, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is a setup, because Elijah over there at HearRVA does a great job at what he does.
Thank you.
And I saw Jay from the Music Shop, Justin from the Music Shop. He does a great job at what he does, and Rock does. There's a whole bunch of folks that do a great job, but we need more of them.
I think our journalistic community, all of you people who he just named, should write about dancers.
Even that was here probably even 8, 9, 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Or even less, that there's still barriers, but there is a way for people to get their music to consume it. There is a way for people to have more access access to somebody that can write a really descriptive piece about their music and what they're trying to do. Everybody has a phone. They can upload their own TikTok video and see how that goes. And so that's it's a different industry today that in many ways, with all the flaws in that situation, oversaturation, you know what I mean, what's the word, the gimmick over the town horizon, all that stuff still happens, but we have artists in Richmond now, like Clarke, and what they've done at Music Academy and Smith Knight, and what they're doing with kids at play, that will never, ever see the level of patriarchy is the word, it might not be the right word, but they will never see the level of barriers of pride that somebody like Skillz makes. And I think that's actually encouraging in many ways. But it still requires a lot of work, right? They still got to build their audience together. But I think that that's the most encouraging thing, is that I feel like artists are empowered, and I also feel that there's a lot more financial literacy for the artists.